Hi everyone. In this week, we're going to focus on the topic of schedules. Specifically, let's cover what are schedules and how are they used in an architectural or interior design set. And then we're going to also talk about how to create a table or a schedule in AutoCAD and also how to set some table styles. So what exactly are schedules? They are a table of information on a construction drawing. They are used to present a large amount of data in the least amount of space. Okay? They're organized, easy to read, and they provide detailed information. And that information is keyed to specific locations in the drawings. A schedule is used to clarify size, location, finishes, just a whole bunch of more information related to a project. So here's an example on your screen of a door schedule, which includes door numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the left-hand side right here. Door types, so this is door type A. Door number 1 is type A. Door openings, 6-foot width, 6'8" height. Here's the door thickness. Frame material, door material, finish material, and some hardware information. So items on a schedule can be represented by symbols that are then located or tagged on a plan to indicate that particular item's location. And so you take a look at the plan, you see a symbol, and then you go refer back to the schedule for more information about that particular item. For example, let's take a look at this drawing right here. On this plan, this door is tagged with a number 9. We could go back a slide and take a look at door number 9 and find out all sorts of information about that door. This is a much easier way to convey information than putting all of that information on the drawings because it really complicates the drawings. Construction drawings are already very complex and crowded with information. And so schedules are a way of pulling that information out in a more readable form. In AutoCAD, the schedule objects are called tables. So let's talk about the format of these schedules. We've just said they're in a table or tabular form, which means they have rows and columns of data. They should be clear, concise, complete, easy to read, always remembering that the entire purpose of these drawings are to convey information and to communicate your design. So the grid format of these schedules means that the lines, this direction here, the lines should be a minimum of a 1/4 inch apart, and your font should be a minimum of an 1/8 inch. I actually like to bump those up. As an architect, I typically use larger format drawings, and I will use a font size no smaller than, or at least a minimum of 3/16 inch, and I would space my lines 1/2 inch apart. Um, so your schedule should be organized logically. You need to have titles at the top of each column, larger and bolder than the information below them. And there will often be a heavy border to set that schedule apart from the rest of the drawings. In interior design construction drawings, there are schedules for doors, windows, and finishes, kitchen equipment, furniture, millwork, and hardware. Not every project obviously has all of these schedules, but these are some of the common ones. And so here on your screen is a interior design project, a partial floor plan. And over here we've got a door schedule, window schedule, and room finishes schedule. Now I know you cannot see those on your screen, they're teeny tiny. Okay, so let's take a closer look at each one of these. So our first schedule here is a door schedule. We've already looked at one of these. And we've got information here about each doors. They have a symbol. Looks like the symbol is a circle with a number in it. And therefore, each door has a type. For example, you would know that doors 1 and 2 are the same kind of door because they're both type A. All right. Often you will have a bunch of the same kind or type of doors in a project. So it helps the ordering process and the installation process if they all are grouped together in a type. And then you've got the rest of the information about the doors that we've already gone over. Often in a schedule, there's a section on, it's usually the far right, that is for anything else. Sometimes it's called notes. In this case, it's called remarks. But anything that wasn't, that's important about the door but wasn't included in one of the other columns can be thrown in there. And schedules often have some notes below them. And sometimes, for example, this right here, it says hardware groups, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and those are tagged in this column right here, hardware group. And then we've got some general notes right here, which would apply to the whole project or all the doors. Next is a window schedule. So you can see that each of these are also tagged with a symbol. It's a slightly different symbol. In this case, they're using a, what is that, a hexagon with a letter in it. And this is so you can quickly see, just glance at the drawing and be able to find the right symbol. Maybe you've got a window and door right next to each other. But by making them two different shapes, it's easy to visually tell the difference. So we've got a window symbol. In this case, we've denoted the quantity, how many of those particular windows, their manufacturer and style, model number, sizes, opening, the type of window, and their finishes, and the glass type. And again, here is this kind of catch-all column for any extra remarks. For example, this one says arched window, which you wouldn't necessarily know by simply looking at the size. Now, I got some questions recently about why an architectural drawing would have a string of dimensions along the exterior, and each window would be dimensioned to the center of the window. Why wouldn't you dimension to each side so that you could tell exactly the size of the window? Well, it depends on whether there's a window schedule for that project. If there's a window schedule or some other way of telling exactly the size of the window, then the important thing on a floor plan is to locate the window along the wall. And the center measurement is the easiest way to do that. So you locate the center of the window, and then you come to this window schedule, and you figure out exactly which size that window is. The last one I'm going to show you here is a finish schedule. And this is a common way to draw a finish schedule, but there are several other different ways to do it. So let's just show you the one today. And in this schedule, they're listing every room. So specifically every room by its number and by its room name. And then for each room, for example, room 201 reception, the specific finishes in that room are called out. This one's not a good example because it says see plan. There must be more than one floor finish, excuse me, in that room. It's got a specific base finish. It's the trim that goes along the bottom of the wall. And then we've got some wall finishes. WC1 is probably wall covering 1, and then this would be paired with a finish legend, basically, that would list each one of these WC1, WC2, WC3, and have the specifications for those. Um, and then the ceiling, in this case, they included the height of the ceiling, which that's a little unusual to put in a finish schedule. But anyway, and the material of that and the finish of that ceiling, they are chipboard ceilings with PT3. That's probably paint number 3. All right. So that's one way to draw up a finished schedule. You list all the rooms, and then for each room, floor, base, wall, ceiling, whatever your typical finishes are for that room. All right, everybody. In this video, we covered what a schedule is and how it's used in architecture and interior design construction drawings. And in the next videos, we're going to show you how to create them in AutoCAD.